Hello. This is actually the second video in trying to help folks either start or build their apparel decorating business. I thought I would talk about the business I started and the services we offered. And these services all fit together very, very well because your customers, we did a lot of school businesses, for example, they need t shirts, they need embroidered products, they need awards, things like that. And all these services use the same software and things like that, so they fit very, very well together. So, the business I started in the beginning, we started as a screen printing shop that also offered awards and also offered a spirit shop. And the spirit shop was very successful. It was a very important part of our business. And I think it also brought us a lot of custom orders as well. So if you're starting from scratch, I'm going to have another video as to how I would start if I was starting from the beginning, from what I learned. But the services we offered, we obviously had a vinyl cutter. We used that primarily for names and numbers on the back of shirts. Uh, but that's a very important part of the apparel decorating business. Probably was the most used part because it seemed like almost every order, or a lot of orders anyway, had a name on the back or a name and number on the back, particularly for spirit wear orders. And obviously, we had a heat press. Actually, we had several heat presses, but that's something you're going to need. Um, but screen printing was kind of the beginning. I'd had a little bit of experience with that, so I knew kind of what was involved. And that started our business. It became the most, by far, the biggest part of our business. We started out just with a manual press, a six color four station press, and that part of the business grew rapidly. We eventually bought another manual press and a second dryer, so we could run two manuals at the same time. We then bought a small auto. It was actually a Lawson Mini Trooper because it fit in the space that we had, and that continued to grow our business. And we eventually, when I sold the business, we had bought an Anatol Volt, an eight station Anatol Volt, which we really, really liked. It was very high technology. And we also bought a new Anatol Thunder manual press, which we still used, very well built machine in our screen printing shop. We had a large dryer that we were able to run both the auto and the manual through at the same time. We when we first started the business, we did not start with embroidery, but we were trying to farm out the embroidery through contractors. But we eventually bought. We started with a one head, bought several one heads at a time. I think we got up to four or maybe even five one heads before we started buying some multi head machines. We first bought a two head, then we bought a four head. When I sold the business, we had six heads of embroidery machines. And then the awards part of the business is one that I don't see a lot of the screen printers. You know, a lot of the stores that decorate tend to have screen printing, embroidery, and of course vinyl cutting. I don't see a lot of the businesses talking about awards, but I would recommend that you have that as a part of your business. Um, you can do sublimated awards without having to buy anything really other than a sublimation printer, and you probably are going to have that anyway with as to decorate apparel with. We had a laser engraver, or eventually bought a laser engraver, which was a very important part of that awards business. But you wouldn't have to have that at least to start. All you need is you need your software. We use Corel Draw. We'll talk about more about the softwares later. But we had Corel Draw. We already had that, needed that for the apparel part. And you need a heat press to do sublimation on the awards. You already have that to do your vinyl cutting. So you have everything that you need, and you can do a lot of awards with sublimation. So, and then your folks that need your T-shirts, the cross country team that needs T-shirts also need medals and plaques and things like that for their competitions, which you can do with the sublimation. So I would really suggest that as a second service that really is not going to add a whole lot of, if any, cost to your business. And then on also, depending on your space or what you're trying to do, we had a retail area where people came in obviously to place custom orders and things like that. But we had a large spirit shop. We have four high schools in our area, and four or five middle schools and eight or nine elementary schools. and we had apparel already decorated on the wall to be purchased, and we sold and did very well with that spirit shop. And I think it also led to custom orders and things like that. So if you have a retail space, or eventually get a retail space, or even if you're working from home, creating a online store for spirit wear for your local schools, I think can also be very successful. And we'll talk about how to do that and what software you might need, and what that might involve as well. So that's kind of how we started. I think in the next video, I'm going to talk about, if you are starting from scratch, where the first place to start would be, and maybe how to evolve the business as you start to grow, and what services you can offer. And then maybe in a future video, I will talk about, if you already have an existing business, as to where you're at and how you can begin to start expanding that business. So hopefully this might be of help to someone, and if it is, then hopefully as I continue to put out other videos to help you continue to grow your business. Thanks.